I would like to share some info about Bronte Spicer, who is our speaker now. So she's a teacher, spiritual healer, and author of It's Okay to Cry. It's an award-winning writer for Elephant Journal and host of a podcast. It's Okay to Cry. What I think most of us, when we start our journey in the meditation, we go through a lot of emotional up and downs, uncovering few things. So she basically teaches basic neuroscience and practical steps to safely sit with and feel mental and emotional pain without, being consumed by it, and how to come out of that, how to heal ourselves, and how to come out of different emotions. So actually, and the topic title is easing the intensity of unwanted feelings. Okay, I'm really excited for introducing Bronte Spicer to our team, and really looking forward personally to learn a lot from this. Welcome to the team, Bronte. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. It's so wonderful to be here. I'm really thankful to be welcomed into this space and to show you some really practical strategies to learn how to feel safe with, firstly, and then to heal any darkness that arises during meditation. So that could be maybe it's negative thoughts that you have, or maybe it's intense feelings and emotions that you have, or maybe you're experiencing like energetic blocks in your meditation, like you can just feel something's just not quite right, and perhaps it feels scary, or it's an energy that you just want to shy away from. Or yeah, maybe it's a spirit, maybe it's an entity, like a dark entity or spirit or an idea that you just don't like. So often, when we do sit in this meditative space, it is when the dark can rise, and those intense negative thoughts and feelings can arise, and often we just want to push them away and just stay in the light. But I had a profound experience around 2019 where I had been living with depression and anxiety for 22 years, and I really had found nothing that would actually resolve the depression particularly. Even though I had tried meditation, mindfulness, energy work, journaling, exercise, eating right, I had tried therapy, cognitive behavior therapy, all of these, it's just such a wide range of ways to heal my depression. But back in 2019, I started to learn these strategies to learn how to welcome the dark and hold a sense of compassion for and feel the discomfort that was arising. And it completely transformed my life, and it healed my long-term battle with depression. And while I still, from time to time, I'm a human being, I have anxiety and depression and grief and anger and all of the, jealousy, all of those challenging emotions and challenging thoughts that go with those emotions. But the difference now is that I have these incredible tools to heal and to resolve the challenge and the trauma and the darkness and negativity that does arise. So thank you. Um, I'm just going to share my screen now, just so you can see just some information here. And trying to go to the next slide. Oh, there we go. Cool. So yeah, a little bit. Actually, I'll tell you another quick story just before we start. I had been working as an energetic healer, and around this time that I was discovering how to feel safe with the darkness so I could heal it, I was walking through the bush and I could feel this like dark energy just like come over onto my shoulder. And my instant response was, oh, get away from me. I don't want this dark energy near me. And then because I'd been practicing these tools to learn to welcome and hold space for and ask questions around, well, why are you here? Are you here to help me? And do you have a message for me? I just said to this energy, uh, you're welcome here. I love you. And this dark energy, I saw it. It was like it just whisked away. It just fell away. And what that showed me is that when we hold a sense of compassion and love for all of those perceived dark elements of life, it just resolves, it heals, it dissolves. And so you might have that experience today when I show you how to sit with and feel safe with and uh, and befriend the darkness that might arise for you today. Now, I want to just touch on that because the word darkness can feel scary in itself. Like you might be thinking, "Oh, I don't want to go towards anything dark. That is frightening. That is threatening. Why would I choose to do that?" Well, what I have found in my own practice personally, and now also professionally working and supporting many people to heal their anxiety and depression, is that when we don't go towards the things that are arising in our life, in our personal experience, and I'm talking about our thoughts and feelings that are negative, then we repress them or we suppress them. And that is when we start to experience long-term anxiety or depression, or maybe we're being aggressive in our partnerships, or maybe we're yelling at our kids when really there's another possibility here where we can take responsibility for our own thoughts and feelings so they don't end up being an eruption of energy and emotion onto someone else. So to tell you a little bit more about me before we get into the practice, I am a teacher, a primary school teacher originally, and then I moved into being a meditation teacher. And more recently, I've been studying trauma and nervous system resilience and a somatic approach to mental health. So a somatic approach to mental health is different to a cognitive-based or talk-based therapy approach to mental health. And it's learning how to feel safe with the physical sensations that arise in our bodies with our negative thoughts, essentially. So rather than trying to change our thinking, this is learning how to feel safe with the intensity of emotions and sensations in our bodies. And when we learn how to befriend these sensations, they can resolve and heal and release rather than us getting stuck in our heads and trying to change how we feel. So it's learning how to feel safe with the thoughts and feelings that we have as they arise and allow them to come and go in a very practical and skillful way. So I work with people one-on-one, and I also provide workshops for individuals and professionals and healthcare professionals, teachers, schools, because this is often not taught. This is a very it's a new area. We've now learnt that trauma is stored in the body, and trying to change our thinking doesn't always work. To live a positive life, we need to address the somatic imprints that are on our nervous system. So that's our unresolved emotional trauma that's stored in our body. And so this approach is learning how to feel our discomfort so it can heal. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to teach you 3 steps to befriend the darkness that arises. So these negative thoughts and feelings that arise for you. The first step is to meet. So find out what thoughts and feelings you have. So you need to know what thoughts and feelings are there in order for you to heal it. Number 2, the second step here is to greet your thoughts and feelings. So that means to get to know your thoughts and feelings and acknowledge them. And we know that, right? That's a really common spiritual concept, isn't it? We have to accept and acknowledge our thoughts and feelings. But how do we actually do that when maybe our thoughts are, I want to die, or I don't want to be here anymore, or I'm a failure, or I'm a loser, or there's something wrong with me, or I'm broken? How do we actually acknowledge and accept these very uncomfortable, difficult, sometimes debilitating thoughts and feelings that we have? So this is what I'm going to show you. And the third step is to treat your stuck thoughts and feelings like friends and give them more support. So sometimes we all know that we have thoughts that get stuck. Then they go on repeat in our mind and we just can't get rid of them. And for those of you who are struggling with anxiety and depression, that will be more so. And the problem with these ruminating thoughts that get stuck is that we start to identify with these negative thoughts and feelings. We start to believe that this is who we are. Now, if you had a friend who was having trouble and was stuck in life, would you just leave them? No. And so I'm using this analogy to think about these stuck negative thoughts and feelings that you are having. Yes, our instinct is to run, is to trying to get rid of this threat, this threatening thought and feeling. But what we're really doing there is we are abandoning a part of ourselves that is calling for love, care, and attention. So what I'm suggesting here is that when you have a stuck thought or feeling, so a thought that just keeps coming back to you, you keep hearing on repeat, or you have a feeling in your body that's really uncomfortable, and that might be like a lump in your throat, or maybe it's anxiety, tension in your jaw, or maybe it's stress in your shoulders, or maybe it's a heaviness or a tightness in your heart, in your chest, or maybe it's the tightness in your belly from anxiety, or maybe it's the pain in your back from stress. Rather than trying to get rid of that feeling, I'm going to show you how to find out what is the gold that these feelings are providing for you. I'm asking you to consider whether these feelings in your body might actually be on your side. So number 3, treat your stuck thoughts and feelings like friends and give them more support. Okay, so today what we're going to do now is we're going to welcome in a safe space, and please take full responsibility for your participation here. I would like you to choose, since this is a group activity, this is a group experience, I'm going to invite you to choose an area of your life that has some discomfort to it, but is not completely overwhelming. Pick something in the middle. So this will be some challenge in your life, whether maybe it's with a work colleague, or it's with a family member, maybe it's financial issues, maybe it's a health concern, maybe it's a career issue. And I'm going to ask you this question. If this was to say something negative about you, what would that be? And what we're really mining for is, if you look at this image here, we've got all of these deficiency stories or negative beliefs that we universally believe about ourselves or about life or about the world. or we just hear them in our minds. So it depends. Sometimes they get really stuck and we believe them. Other times they're kind of fleeting and we can see that that's not really who we are. So examples of these deficiency stories are I'm bad, I'm wrong, I'm alone, I'm unlovable, I'm unsafe, I'm unwanted, I'm not enough, like not good enough, not smart enough, not pretty enough, not funny enough, or there's something wrong with me. Or maybe these deficiency stories are something about life, like life is unfair. This is unfair. Or life is scary. This is a scary and dangerous place or dangerous world. So I'm going to guide you through just some basic mindfulness so you can move into that meditative state. And then I'm going to ask you this question. If this was to say something negative about you, what would that be? And you're going to come up with one of these deficiency stories. So it could be one of these or it could be something else. I don't want to plant the story for you. What I want to do is create a space for you to welcome and allow those thoughts to rise to the surface. Okay? If anything, if anything comes up that's too overwhelming, a great tool to use to help you regulate, self-regulate, and come back to a place of safety is to notice the five senses. So what can you hear? What can you see? What can you taste? What can you smell? And what can you feel? So if you need that, then please use it at any time that you need it. So I invite you to close your eyes now and I'll guide you through some basic mindfulness. I'll ask you this question and then you can see what deficiency story or negative belief might arise for you. So close your eyes when you're ready and find a comfortable position for you to be in. Lengthen your spine so there's space between each vertebra. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Finding a comfortable place for your tongue to rest in your mouth. And notice where you can feel breathing happening in your body. Maybe you can hear your breathing. Maybe you can feel your breathing in your chest or your abdomen or in your nostrils or in your throat. Now noticing what you can hear, whether those sounds are inside the room or outside the room. And as you listen, is there space to allow these sounds to wash over your ears as if you're a newborn baby? As if you've never heard these sounds before. Now, noticing where the space around you, the air, touches your skin, your face. And is this air warm or cool or something in the middle? Is this air stagnant or fresh or something in between? And now starting to notice the sensations inside your body. Any pressure, tingles, waves, any tightness, heaviness, openness. Or are there parts of the body that you can't quite describe in words? And rather than trying to shift or change or fix anything here, is there space to allow this body to be just as it is? Now, when you think about this issue in your life, so if you have a couple, just pick the one that you're intuitively being drawn to, the one that's calling your attention more, and that might surprise you. Trust the one that you're being drawn to. And as you consider this issue in your life, ask yourself this question as if you're fishing, and the question is the fishing line. So you're casting out this line with this question on the end of your fishing line. And the question is, if this situation was to say something negative about you or your life, what would that be? And just as someone fishing would wait in the quiet, let's wait to see what might arise here. If this situation was to say something negative about you, what would that be? Or say something negative about your life, what would that be? And when you're clear, please feel free to write your deficiency story in the chat box, just so we can really reduce any stigma around having these negative beliefs, these negative thoughts that we have, these dark thoughts that we might have. Pop them in the chat box so we can see that we're all human. We all have these negative thoughts and feelings. If this situation was to say something negative about you, what would that be? I'm in chat when you're ready. And don't feel like you have to share if that's not feeling right for you. Expecting. Thanks, Lavanya. Face your fears and have courage. Don't be guilty. Okay. Yeah. So, Sudha, what I would say to that is that sounds like your intuitive voice. That sounds like your soul offering you inspiration. And I wonder if is there a part of you that feels guilty, feeling alone? Suresh, thank you so much for your vulnerability and honesty. Yes, I'm alone, feeling alone. So that's the story here that wants to be seen. Beautiful. Back to Sudha. So it could be the darkness here really could be the guilt that you do feel or the fear. Yes, thank you, Sudha. It's fear for you. Some regrets. Yep, thank you, Suresh. Yes, good. So now with regrets, we often have pictures in our head, right? And I might go to the next slide just to show you here that the great thing, this really creates a sense of safety when we realize that our darkness can be narrowed down to three things. So these three things are words, pictures, and body sensations. This is what we're afraid of. This darkness, this perceived darkness that we are terrified of and we don't want to go towards and we don't want to sit with and we don't want to feel are simply words, pictures, and body sensations. So this is I'm going to show you some very powerful techniques to learn how to just sit with one part, just the words, just the pictures, and then the body sensations. So it's called the Velcro effect. If you can think of Velcro, there's two parts. The top layer of Velcro is the thoughts, and that's what the words and pictures make. The words and pictures make thoughts in your mind. And the emotions are the body sensations. So that's the bottom layer of Velcro. And what happens is that when we struggle, when we are in suffering or pain, then the two layers of Velcro are stuck like that. So what I'm going to show you now how to do is, first of all, lift the first layer, the top layer of Velcro away, so the thoughts, and we're going to do that through befriending and compassion. And then you're just left with body sensations left. So that's the second layer of Velcro. And I'm going to show you strategies to heal and resolve the bottom layer. Okay. Does anyone have any questions before we continue? Yeah, thanks, Suresh. So we've got some characters and situations and decisions. Yeah, good. Okay, so perhaps big decisions, worrying about which way to go. Some characters, they could be relationships and situations as well. Perhaps situations that are about to happen or have already happened, and they can be painful, right? So when we don't address them, yes, then they prop up and they inform how we behave and how we approach new situations and new opportunities. If we can heal the past, then we can feel much more open and ready to try something new. Yes, Swati, can you please say more on body sensations? Of course. So the body sensations are those physical sensations we can feel that are derived from our nervous system, and they are also our emotions. Emotions we think of like happiness, sadness, fear, anger. We have labels, but actually the emotions are physical. They're a physical feeling in our body. So some examples of body sensations are tightness in the chest or a heaviness in the chest, often when we're sad. Sometimes we feel tingles or we feel like kind of freezy in our shoulders, arms, legs. I know anxiety comes for me as like buzzing in my legs. What else? Pressure. Sometimes we feel knots, like a knot in our tummy. So these are body sensations, and they are derived from our nervous system and how our nervous system is responding to potential threats in our life. So I hope that makes sense. So learning how to feel safe with the body sensations is a somatic approach to mental health. It's learning how to feel safe in the body. Now, if you're someone who is like, Bronte, I don't know what you're talking about these body sensations. That was me. And this happens when we have we're struggling with dissociation. So dissociation means there's a disconnect between our mind and our body. Now, if we have experienced trauma, so experiences where we have overwhelmed our capacity to cope, then, and if we haven't resolved that trauma, then we can create more of this disconnect between our mind and body. And that means we just are living from our mind and we're not actually feeling, not actually connected or embodied. We're not actually feeling how we physically feel in our body. So reversing dissociation means that you're learning to notice the physical sensations that are in your body, which is a prerequisite for self-regulation. It's a prerequisite for learning how to build a capacity to feel safe with all of your thoughts and feelings and not repressing any of it. And what happens then is you build a stronger sense of self, a stronger sense of connection with yourself and with the other people around you. So your relationships improve and you start to see the world to be a much safer and welcoming place, friendly place. Thanks for your question. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to now take you through the steps. So for this, I will have slides up, but I do invite you to close your eyes if you can for the whole time. But if you are just so intrigued about what's on the slides, then feel free to open your eyes as well. So you're welcome to do what you need to do here. All right. So I trust everyone has their thoughts, like the deficiency story that arose. So if you had something like past regrets, you might have pictures that go with that. So I'll show you how to work with the pictures, or perhaps it's just the word regrets, and we'll start with that. Okay, so I'm going to guide you how to meet, greet, and treat your thoughts, and then meet, greet, and treat your feelings, the emotions in your body. All right, here we go. So feel free to close your eyes again. Just come back to that place of rest, just as we did before. So come into that meditative state where you're noticing what you can feel, what you can hear, what you can smell, taste, and see behind your eyes. Now I'll guide you through how to meet your thoughts. So imagine you've got a movie screen in front of your eyes and shoot the words that you got as the answer to the question that we asked before. So perhaps it's past regrets or feeling alone, whatever words came for you, shoot those words up onto that imaginary screen with your eyes closed so you can see those words written on the screen. Now, if you can't see those words written, just imagine that those words are written on a piece of paper and you can see how they're written. Now, for a very small portion of you, you won't be able to see anything and because you're more auditory based, and so you can probably hear them. Now, as you listen to these words, if just for these people who are not visual, if you can only hear them, just allow them to, if you can try to listen to these words over and over and over as if they're being spoken to, and if you can listen to them as if they're a song, and you're just listening with a gentleness and with compassion. Now, back to those people those of you who can see them, just notice, are these words in capital letters or lowercase letters? Are they in a particular font? Are these letters in 2D or 3D? A particular color? Are these letters small, big, in the middle? Are they close up to you or far away, off to the side or in the center? Where are they positioned on that screen? And for those of you who have a picture that go with these words, so perhaps it's a memory or a particular picture of a person that's in your mind right now, open your eyes so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm shooting the picture up onto that screen, and then I'm going to frame this picture. So everything is inside this frame. So the words, if I have them, and the picture is all inside this frame. So use your physical fingers now to close your eyes and frame what you can see see on that screen. So the pictures and the words are inside the frame. Now, it's helpful to use your fingers because it helps you stay focused so you don't lose track. And now, when you're ready, go ahead and move your head up above the top of the frame, and you'll find space where there are no words and pictures. And we're creating safety here. Now, look back inside into what is inside the frame. You'll see the words and the pictures there. Now, go ahead and find the space below the bottom of the frame. So move your head down if you need to. And then bring your attention back to the words and pictures that are inside the frame. Find the space to the left of the frame and to the right of the frame. There's even space behind the frame, behind the words and pictures. So go ahead and see if you can find that. And there's also space between you and the words and pictures. Now, as you look back at these words and pictures, now with the picture or pictures, if you've got lots of little bits like words and pictures, what I'd like you to do is to imagine that you're super gluing them so they're all one piece. And then start to be kind to what you can see. So can you say to these pictures and these words, thank you for arising? And try that verbally if you can. Thank you for arising. You're welcome to stay as long as you like. And you can say to these words and pictures, I see you. Now try, I hear you. I'm with you. And I love you. Now, when you first start out, saying these words can be tricky, so be kind. Now, just look back and notice how these words and pictures have responded to your care. Now, can you just notice how these words and pictures are responding? You might have noticed that they've shrunk, they've got smaller, maybe they're not so scary or powerful looking. That's a really typical response to just greeting your thoughts with a sense of care and acknowledgement and love. Now, for some of you, these thoughts might actually look stuck. So I'm going to show you how to breathe with a thought. So open your eyes so you can see the little video of me. And I'm going to frame what's in the on the screen here. So your words and pictures are here, but I've got my two hands up, my two physical hands up like this. Now I'm going to breathe in as I look at one part of the picture. And as I breathe out, I'm going to put my full attention on the space to the left of my left hand. And as I breathe in, I look back at what I can see in the picture or the words. And as I breathe out, I'm going to put my full attention on the space to the right of my right hand. And I'm going to stay with that practice, breathing in with what I can see on the screen, and then breathing out with space. Breathing in with what I can see on the screen, and then breathing out with space. So try that. Go ahead and try that when you're ready. So have your eyes closed, put your hands up so you can frame it, frame what you can see. And if you can't see anything, that's fine. You've processed the thoughts, and in a minute we'll process the feelings together. But for those of you who have a stuck thought, which means if you still have words or pictures there that still are calling for your attention, then we can treat this stuck thought like it's a friend and offer it more support by breathing with it. So go ahead and try that. Breathe in as you look at one part of the picture or the words, and breathe out with space to the left. And then breathe in as you look at another part of the picture or the words, and then breathe out with space. Now you might be looking at the corner of a letter, or maybe it's the bottom of the picture. If you still have pictures of people or memories, what's in the background of the picture as you breathe in, really looking at the detail. Breathing in with the picture and words, and then breathing out with space. Not trying to get rid of anything here, just allowing what is here to be here, trusting the process and staying with the breathing. Breathing in with the words and pictures, and then breathing out with space. Now you might have noticed, do a couple more breaths here. So breathe in with the words and pictures, and breathe out with space. And the next time you breathe in, just check in and notice how these words and pictures look now. And they have likely softened more or fallen away, or they've resolved in some creative way. Often we see like things being kind of jumbled up, or they get washed away by the rain, or it's amazing the creativity that comes in our mind. But if something still looks stuck, let's use tracking. So open your eyes and I'll show you what tracking looks like. So it's when I open my eyes and I use my finger, my physical finger, just to randomly move it in front of my eyes like this, and I'm following it like it's the most interesting thing here for just for a few seconds. And then I close my eyes and look back and notice what I can see here. And I'm just allowing my eyes to rest on what's left of this thought. And then if I can still see it, I'm going to open my eyes again and just follow my finger in any random order for a few seconds. And then closing in my eyes when I'm ready and looking back to notice with interest and curiosity to see what's left here. So go ahead and try that when you're ready. This is called tracking. So if you need it, if there's still some stuck thoughts here, then open your eyes and wave your just one finger in front of your eyes for a few seconds. And what you're doing here is you're creating a sense of safety. So you're building a sense of safety with this thought, with this picture, with these words. And by now, these thoughts are probably losing their charge, losing their power. Now I'm going to show you one more technique here. So we'll just finish the tracking. So notice, just come back and look to see it. Have a look at these words and pictures to see how they look now. Notice if they have softened or they've disintegrated, or maybe more of it has fallen away. Maybe there's still something that's still there. And this is the final strategy that you can use if you still have a thought that's stuck, and it's called tapping. So open your eyes so you can see what I'm doing. I've got two fingers here and I'm just tapping in the air on the words and pictures that are still there. Now, these words and pictures, they obviously want your care, love, and attention. They're like, I'm not going anywhere, right? And so we're not trying to tap them away. We're trying to acknowledge them, like say, I see you, I hear you, I'm with you, I love you. See these words and pictures like small children that are really just wanting your care, love, and attention. And as you tap, it's like an acknowledgement that you can see that part of that letter and that part of that picture, and you can see the lines in the face of the person who's on your screen, and you're really acknowledging all parts of the words and pictures that are on your screen. And you keep tapping, so feel free to go ahead and do this yourself. Now you're just tapping on all parts of the picture with the energy of, I see you, I love you, I'm with you, rather than trying to get rid of anything. You lose any agenda of trying to get rid of anything, and instead you're welcoming and allowing and acknowledging all parts that are here, because this is a part of your experience. So this is what healing is, welcoming all parts back to the whole. You're returning to wholeness by allowing these parts to be here, realizing they are just words and pictures. Right. And once you've tapped on every single part of the words and pictures that you can see on your screen, you can then just keep tapping in the air on a spot and put your full attention on the feeling of the tapping in your hand. And once your full attention's on the feeling of the tapping in your hand, you can stop tapping. And then take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, you're going to imagine sliding a mini you down your throat into a safe place in your body. And from that safe place, you can start to notice what physical sensations are here. So we've just shifted from treating your thoughts. So we've worked on meeting and greeting and treating your thoughts. Now we're in the body. Now we're meeting your emotions. Noticing what physical sensations you can feel here. Which part of the body is calling your attention? And this is what it means to meet your emotions, to find out what emotions are here. So not necessarily a cognitive approach, but a somatic approach. So learning how to feel, noticing what you can feel and where you can feel it. So let's go into greet these emotions. If you were to describe this sensation that you can feel, is it tight? Is it heavy? Is it like hard pressure? Is it tingly, buzzing, wavy? What's calling your attention here? And how would you describe it? Now, next, with your hands, can you show me the size of it and where is it? So if it's in your chest and it's like a small ball, can you show me the size of that ball with your hands? Or is it bigger? Does it go right over your shoulders? Where can you feel the sensation? And where does this sensation end? Thank you. Beautiful. That's it. Good. Now find the perimeter. Find where this sensation stops. So what I mean by that is put your attention above the sensation where there is no sensation. So say it's in your chest. Notice where it stops. Does it go right up to your throat, or does it go right into your head, or does it stop in your chest? Notice where it stops. Where does that sensation stop above the sensation? Now go ahead and find where does it stop at the bottom of the sensation. So let's just say you have a sensation in your stomach or your abdomen area. Does it go down to your legs, or where does it stop? Now, what about the sides, the left and the right? Where does this sensation stop? Where does it end? And can you find the space to the left of the sensation and to the right of the sensation? Good. So now you've found the space around it. The next step is to see if this sensation wants to move into the space around it. Does it want to move into the space around it? Now, you're not trying to make it move if it doesn't want to. Just give it an invitation to move if it wants to. And it will either spread and it might feel good, or maybe it wants to stay exactly where it is. And either way is fine. If it wants to move, let it spread, and notice how it feels. Now, can you be kind to this feeling? Can you say aloud with words verbally? Can you say to this sensation, thank you for arising? You're welcome to stay as long as you like. I see you. I hear you. I feel you. I'm with you. I'll take care of you. I love you. And notice how these emotions, these sensations are responding to your care, compassion, and kindness. Now, another way to greet your emotions is to let these emotions play. So see your body as a playground and see these sensations wanting to play like little children. So perhaps this sensation that you can feel wants to show you to a new part of your body. Maybe it wants to play hide and seek. See this sensation as your guide, as your tour guide, and let it run through the body and move in the way that it wants to and express itself just the way it is. Now, most of you will probably have had sensations that have dissolved by now, but some of you will still have an emotion that's stuck. So, this is where you can start to treat your emotions. Treat your emotions like it's a friend, okay, and offer it more support. So, let's breathe first. Breathe with your emotion. So, this is where you put your full attention on the sensation as you breathe in, and then breathe out as you put your full attention on just space in the body where there is no sensation, a space where you can't feel that sensation. Put your attention there as you breathe out. And repeat that process. Breathe in with the sensation as you put your full attention on the sensation, and then breathe out with space as you put your full attention on just pick that spot. Just pick a spot in your body where there's space. Breathe in with the sensation in your own time and breathe out with space. Stay with that practice and trust the process. Breathe in with the sensation and breathe out with space. Now check back into the sensation and just notice how this sensation has responded to your breathing. Now, some of you still might have a sensation that is still here. And I'm very happy to tell you that this sensation is on your side and it either is here because it has a message for you or a purpose to help you. And this is where we start to strike up a conversation with our emotions and ask it questions. So see it as a person and you can ask these questions. If this sensation had a message for me, what would that be? Wait in the quiet and notice what guidance or insight arises. If you had a message for me, what would that be? If this emotion had a message for me, what would that be? Feel free to write your answers down. Another question you can ask a sensation is, what do you need? Ask it what it needs. And how can you provide that need right now? Use your innovation, imagination, and creativity here. How can you meet this need? Because this is essentially an aspect of you. So this is what you need. How can you provide yourself with this need? And thirdly, you can ask, how might this sensation be helping me? How might it be protecting me? This is where you can hold a sense of gratitude for this part of you that has been helping you and protecting you. And the final way to treat an emotion that is stuck is to pat it. So if it's in your chest, can you use your hand to just pat it using the rate and the pressure that feels good for you? Or wherever this sensation is, can you pat it with your hand? Can you self-soothe by rocking from side to side as you pat, holding a sense of generosity and compassion and curiosity and love? You might like to soothe yourself by bringing your hands from your shoulders to your elbows, holding a sense of love and compassion for yourself as this emotion is here. Because the reality is we don't have control over these emotions. These emotions come and go when they choose to. So if we can be gentle and kind to ourselves when we have these emotions and allow these emotions to stay here, treat them as if they are our most exquisite, most wonderful guest who has arrived on our doorstep, and really provide our whole bodies, our whole homes for these emotions as if they are our most wonderful guest and we're being the most beautiful host, offering them fresh towels and a cup of tea in the master bedroom. The more we allow these emotions to be here, the quicker they can come and go. Now, taking a breath, zooming out, and then doing a whole body scan here and just noticing how you're feeling after meeting, greeting, and treating your thoughts and feelings like friends. And I'd love to hear how you're feeling in the chat box now. How you're feeling and what insights did you receive from befriending these perceived dark parts of you, these negative thoughts and feelings? How was this experience for you and what insight did you receive? Peaceful. Thank you, Sudha. Lovely. So what you can do is expand that feeling. So notice where you feel that sense of peace in your body and expand that feeling right through your whole body. See if you can accentuate it and exaggerate it, taste it, drink it, absorb it, love it. So part of this practice is learning how to build a sense of comfort with even the pleasurable feelings, because would you believe it or not, we often repress the pleasurable and joyful feelings as well. They are receding. Yes, Samina, thank you. I assume that you're talking about the challenging thoughts and feelings do recede. Yes, they do. Yes. So this is how we accept and let go of our negative thoughts and feelings, by actually welcoming them, going towards them, allowing them in a safe way where we don't have to repress them or push them away. Sudha, you got insights to spread love and be the light. Oh, wonderful. It's so cool, isn't it, to get insights from something that we perceive as an uncomfortable emotion. It actually is holding incredible insights around how to be the light and how to spread love. I love that. It's awesome. Thanks for sharing. So we have a couple more minutes here. If you have any questions about this, I will happily invite you to ask them. Take your audio, unmute yourself so you can ask questions just for the last couple of minutes here. Sudha, heart space feels vibrating. Oh, how amazing. That's so cool. Yeah, so it really does pay off to do this this work with the dark so we can actually experience more of the light. It's so incredible. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, so you can expand that heart vibration right through your whole body, even beyond your body into your energetic field. Really allow it to have all the space that it needs and wants. How is it different from NLP? I haven't studied NLP, so I can't really answer that question. I think I've had one NLP session myself personally, so I don't know if I can really answer that question. I'm sorry, Samina. Well, I think this is all coming to a close. So thank you so much for joining me for today's session. I hope you really enjoyed it. And Swati, can you please repeat the greeting part? I'm very happy to share the slides that I have today with Hari, if you're welcome to provide that. Yep, happy to do that.
That would be great. Yeah. So if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask. Yeah. I have a question.
Thank you, Bronte. That was very insightful and
You're welcome. Thanks for having
me.
Go
ahead, Hari.
So I have a question. This is a pretty. First of all, thank you so much for joining us and then taking this amazing session in depth, because this is one of the most important session where most of us have the same problem, that we don't know how to handle our thoughts and emotions, and we all get negative thoughts. We all feel bad about us. Mm-hmm. And your first thought that it's okay to cry, it's okay to have those thoughts, is something that itself gives a lot of comfort right away to everyone. Because a part of the problem is not just having it, it is thinking that having them is a sin, having them is a problem. But instead, meet and greet and treat is something that I just love. So at one point, is this going to be an ongoing journey? Or let's say, I have seen like people, they deal with one negative aspect about themselves and then say, I'm good. No, and then a new challenge comes and a new negative. So is it going to be an ongoing thing, or is there a destination that we arrive at one point where we don't need to deal with all this?
Yeah. No, I unfortunately the destination is an illusion. So yeah, that striving and trying to arrive somewhere is false. Anyone who's enlightened says that anyone who's, I guess this is my belief, that we're all on this path, and but it can get easier. So for me, I definitely felt strong intensity at the start and I had a lot to meet, greet and treat, a lot of thoughts and a lot of feelings to meet, greet and treat. But I see it as an onion. So it's like each time you sit and you befriend these thoughts and feelings, the charge and the power becomes less and less. So it becomes easier and easier. But that's not to say that like new challenges won't arise. So we're always going to have challenges. So we can't escape that, but we can learn to become skillful with befriending and accepting these thoughts and feelings. And that's the thing that changes everything. If we have the tools to be able to address the thoughts and feelings, then that shifts everything. So we're not in the story. We're not in the pain of it or the suffering of it. We're watching it. We're befriending it.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's exactly, because I've seen, like myself being a meditation teacher as well, I have seen many in this journey where people always rush for something to attain, thinking that, you know what, once we attain something and that's about it. But I always tell people as well that, you know what, it, it's a it's a journey. A journey is the destination.
Yeah, that's it.
Uh,
That's it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. So yeah, I love the way that you have dissected how to approach the negative thoughts. Like we say, oh, cut it, or think positively, or just to get away. But thing is the way how to meet, how to greet, and how to treat them, and what sort of questions that we need to put in to crack the chain of negative thoughts is amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Any final questions, Suresh, or to you?
No, all good. Thank you, Bronte. It was a phenomenal walkthrough of practical way of dealing with things. Thank you very much. We're looking
We have
forward
a
for
question, I think, Suresh, from Ram want to ask a
I'm checking
question.
the WhatsApp chat.
Not the chat. Raise the hand. Ram, go, please.
Sorry, question
Ram,
Lavanya has.
yeah, no.
Yeah. I think the Lavanya. Go ahead.
So thanks a lot, Bronte. It was beautiful. I really
You're
liked.
welcome.
I really liked the way you have taken us through this journey. Instead of rejecting, understand there is light in every aspect that we don't like. So I really loved it. So thanks a lot. And the slides you presented, it was so attractive. So,
It's awesome.
so as you were, taking us through the journey, a reflection came through that was that, as the thoughts, you might also have some people that you wouldn't want, but maybe they're there. If we just similarly flow through this process with them in our mind, maybe physically as well, we can use such beautiful technique. So very beautiful. I do not know how you relate with that insight, yet I found profoundly interesting to relate both the aspects. So very beautiful.
I think I probably need a little bit more clarity. So you're talking about you could use these techniques when you're with other people in the world. Is that what you're asking or
Yes.
suggesting? Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no. I mean, I use it, when I'm picking the kids up from school and I'm feeling anxious being around other parents. I'm welcoming, I'm walking up the steps going, thank you for arising to the discomfort in my chest, right? You're welcome to stay as long as you like. You can have as much space as you like in my body. I love you. And it eases the anxiety. So yeah, no, this is a technique that you can use all the time to manage any discomfort that arises for you.
Amazing. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Swati have a question. Swati. So the question is around, how do I identify the message or a purpose that these feelings hold? And are these somatic sensations turn around into diseases, any elements in the body?
So,
how to acknowledge them?
Yeah.
If we don't acknowledge them.
Yeah. There's a lot of science around the if we're not acknowledging our emotions, which are the somatic sensations, yes, then they do turn into disease. So there's lots of correlation between certain illnesses that correlate with trauma, unresolved trauma. So Gabor Mate, he's wonderful in that area. I'll put his name in the chat box if you're interested in looking at his work. He has a book out called The Myth of Normal, which I highly recommend, and it's a summary of how unresolved emotional trauma it can lead to diseases for sure. And then, how do we identify the message and purpose that these feelings hold? So, sometimes we don't get answers when we ask questions, and that's okay. So if that's happened to you, then please just keep trying, and also if nothing comes, we can also ask that question. Well, if I don't get a message or a purpose that these for why these feelings are here, then what does that say about me? Because there's probably a deficiency story. If you're trying to find the message or the purpose that's hidden in that emotion and you're not getting it and you're getting really frustrated, that frustration, it might be driven by another deficiency story, like I'm doing it wrong, or I can't do this, or I'm bad, or there's something wrong with me, which is more important for you to look at than to actually find perhaps, the message or purpose that may just not be there. So we trust what comes, and if nothing comes, that's fine. Like what you're learning to do here is just to be with what's here. And if nothing comes, then that's okay. So if nothing came, that's fine. But probably the more that you sit, the more meditation you're practicing, the more that you're practicing this technique, then the quieter you become, and then the darkness or negativity can arise. Or perhaps, in this case, it's more the insight, it's your intuitive guidance that's coming through and offering the message or the purpose. Just reading Lavagna's, the concept that speaker touched up on, that one could have a disconnect between mind and body when trying to say the body experiences when they have undergone trauma. That makes me think that if one does not have good vocabulary to explain things happening to them, how would you approach to understand and analyze to help them? Well, the great thing about this is that you don't have to have vocabulary, and you just go with the vocabulary that's coming for you. So it doesn't have to be you work with what you have. So whatever words that are coming up for you, you sit with that. Whatever pictures are coming up for you, whether that's a person or a situation that might happen or a situation that's happened already, a memory, then you sit with that. If you have sensations in the body, then you sit with that. So I hope I'm answering that question. So yeah, sorry, another point on that, Lavanya, is if you can't feel anything and you feel numb, you might just sit with the word numb. Or you might ask yourself, well, what does that say about me that I'm numb? Well, maybe you hear in your mind, I'm broken, I can't be fixed, I'm useless. So see how these deficiency stories, they drive our discomfort. So if you keep asking that question, if this was to say something about me, something negative about me, what would that be? And bring those words up, because that's the root of our issue. That's the root of all of our problems, our issues, our challenges, our discomfort. It's always driven by a deficiency story. So I hope I've answered your question.
Sure, yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? I think we had pretty much covered it, yeah.
I might just pop my if you're looking for any more information, I'll just pop my website there. Oh, sorry, that went to a direct message. Sorry, I'll do that
please.
to everyone. I have a book and a poster and a guide that can help you, and a course that can all help you if you're really looking to process and heal your negativity. Then all of these resources can help you. And I also work one-on-one with people as well if you're looking to work online.
Right.
I thought it's rockstar. I like that.
Truly. Yeah. Okay, I think we are good. Thank you so much, Bronte, for joining us, and then spending. I know, like I think you had some procedure that you're recovering, and giving your valuable time in this journey is really appreciated. Thank you so much. We'll be in touch. You are part of our journey, and we are together now. So we'll meet more and more often in these summits or talks, or we'll love to closely work with you in this space, in collab. So thank you so much for your time, and have a great evening. Thanks a
You're
lot.
welcome. Thanks for having me. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye.